I always get a bit concerned when it comes to EA's presentations. While there can be a few highlights that show up from time to time, for the most part they're either advertising games that I simply have no interest in, or advertising DLC for pre-existing games that I have no interest in. Last year they spent 3 hours talking about 6 games for like a half hour each, and most of that was on DLC for games that were already out. But you know, maybe I've been a bit too harsh on them, and we are living in uncertain times at the moment, so let's give them another shot. Ooh, it looks like the CEO himself is going to be our host for today. Wait a minute, he isn't? Well then who is? The guy from last time. You're not talking about...
What's up everybody, I'm Greg Miller and welcome to EA Play.
I thought I left you back at the Gorilla Collective. Okay, in the interest of fairness, I will give Greg another chance as well. And to be honest, he is actually pretty good. In fact, he's able to be much more reserved this time, whilst keeping the same level of energy and enthusiasm as he did before. I guess the lack of a crowd to perform in front of brings out the best in him. He did joke about what EA had planned to do this year with their stage setup, which no thank you. Last year was agony. This is much better. A more intimate setting which to talk about video games and admittedly a bit more production put in than the other shows I've covered so far. Though that is for obvious reasons. Let's start off by talking about the latest season of Apex Legends, including new characters, changes to maps, and a new Lost Treasures event. They also say that the game is coming to Steam and Switch, and that crossplay will be implemented as well. So if you're into Apex Legends, there's some good stuff. Not so good is the Sims segment. Aside from announcing that the game is now out on Steam, and showing a community video that is kinda sweet, that was about it. No new content or anything. Bit of a waste of time really. The Command & Conquer Remastered collection is looking really good. Along with updated graphics, the game is including all expansion packs, a rebuilt multiplayer, remastered music from Frank Lapaki and the Tiberian Suns, and tons of extras, including galleries, bonus videos, a map editor, and more. It's available to play right now, but if I could offer a word of caution to EA about this, learn from Blizzard's mistakes. While there was no real footage of Hazelight's game It Takes Two, we did learn a bit about the synopsis from its founder, Joseph Fares. The story centers around a young girl whose parents are getting a divorce, so she creates 2 dolls in their likeness and you control them in an action-adventure style platformer. As I said, we don't really get any footage of the game, but Joseph, who's made a name for himself for being a very passionate, outspoken individual, spoke with such enthusiasm about how he wanted to marry the game's mechanics with the emotions of the story that I kinda want to see this game right now. It also helps that he was part of the team behind Brothers A Tale of Two Sons and A Way Out, 2 games I highly recommend. After that, we got a look at Lost in Random, an action-adventure game that sees a young girl and her dice companion travelling through various creepy environments as they do their best to survive a world full of chaos. The design of the world is deliciously macabre, and borrows more than a few elements from films like Nightmare Before Christmas and Coraline. No news on a release date yet, but if you're a fan of these types of games, you should definitely keep an eye out. I mean, it's gotta be creative when one of the team has a hairstyle like this. The big Star Wars game this year was actually revealed a few days before the show for some reason. Star Wars Squadrons is a space combat game set after the events of Return of the Jedi. The story mode has you create pilots for both the New Republic and the Empire, and will see you playing out missions that alternate between them. It also has the standard multiplayer variants including game modes, ship classes, upgrades, and cosmetics. It's hinted at during an interview that as you play the game, you'll learn more about managing the gauge on your dashboard, and how to divert power to different parts of your ship depending on your current situation. A mechanic inspired by the pilot simulation games of the 90s. Combined with a cool looking trailer, VR support, crossplay, and a release date of October 2nd, and this has the makings of an amazing addition to the franchise. Just so long as EA avoids the use of the M word. No, the other M word. Yes, that. But also the other one. Other than that, there was not too much else to talk about. A few more games coming out on Steam and Switch, a lot of mentions about crossplay, a sports section that had nothing to it, a look at some work in progress footage which is genuinely impressive, and includes a game in the early stages of development, and the jaw-dropping announcement that the hugely beloved Skate series is coming back. And that's about it. No footage, no screenshot, not even a damn logo, just, hey guys, new Skate game coming, get excited. Sadly, EA's presentation remains true to form, a series of flat announcements with very few peaks, but high ones at that. Despite having nothing substantial to offer, It Takes Two was sold to me on Joseph Fares' passion alone, and I may check out Star Wars Squadrons when it comes out, or most likely when there's a sale on. But other than that, most of the show just didn't get me that hyped for anything. I'll say one thing though, I bet Xbox is feeling pretty smug right now.